Good morning, class. We are still with Engage New York Model 1 Lesson 6. This is our last part. Yes, we're still with MBT, but we're working with part of MBT 3 of actually being able to put numbers, given numbers, into either increasing or decreasing order. So if I asked you to put the numbers 1, 2, 5, and 7 into decreasing orders, you'd know it goes 7, 5, 2, 1. If I asked you to put it in an increasing order, it'd be 1, 2, 5, 7. So, but this time we're going to do it with decimals. So we have to compare the largest place value first and go column by column, just like we have been. But now we need to put 3 numbers in order. So the first thing we got to do is look. So the first thing, I have 3 on all of my ones. Look at that. I have 3 and 49 thousandths, 3 and 5 hundredths, and 3 and 4 hundredths. So the first thing I'm going to do is look at my ones column. They're all 3s. I'm going to look at my tenths. I have a 0, a 0, and a 0. I'm going to leave it alone because guess what, you guys? They're all the same. Now I'm going to look. I have a 4, a 5, and a 4. I have 2 4s, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to add a last number. Okay, so I have the 9 and a 0. Which one would go first, 9 or the 0? Because they're both 4s. You're right, it is the 0. So I'd write 3 and 4 hundredths. Then I'd write 3 and 49 thousandths because 5 is bigger than the 4. So 3 and 5 hundredths would be last. So we need to pay attention to all the numbers. Let's look at the next one. Again, we're going increasing. I'm going to change my color. Let's go purple. I'm going to look. Oh, look, 182, 182, 182, 182. So guess what? I know the first number is 182. Okay, now I'm going to look. I have a 0, I have a 1, and I have a 0. Well, I know this one's going last because the 1 is bigger than both zeros. So I'm going to look at this number, this column. I have a 5 and I have a 2. You're right, the 2 goes first. So I'm going to put my 25 thousandths first and then do the 182 and 5 hundredths. And then add in my 182 and 105 thousandths. Okay, let's do it again. Let's look. 7. They all start with 7, you guys. We have a 6, a 6, and a 6. Well, that's good. This goes to thousandths, so I'm just going to quick put in my zeros. I have a 0, I have a 0, I have an 8. So this one is last. Why? Because 8 is bigger than 0, you guys. 8 is bigger than 0, so we can't put it first. So now I'm going to look at the last column, my thousandths column. I have an 8 and I have a 0. This one's going first. You're right, you guys. So here we go. We have 7 and 6 tenths, 7 and 608 thousandths, and then 7 and 68 hundredths. There you go. Now we're going to work on decreasing order, you guys. Here we go. So that means we're putting the smallest number last. We need to make sure the biggest number goes first. Now let's hope Mrs. Alexander remembers that for you guys. Here we go. Again, I have 6, 6, 6. So I'm just going to go ahead and write my 6 first because I know one of them's going first. Look at this. I have a 0, a 0, and a 0. There we go. I have a 4 and I have a 4. Oh, look, this 3 is smaller than both of them, so it will be last, so I will leave it alone. I'm going to put a 0 here so I can compare it to my 9. What's bigger, my 0 or my 9? You guys are right, it is 9. So that'd go first. And now I'd write my next number. So we have 649 thousandths, 604 hundredths, and 603 hundredths. Let's look at another one, you guys. 281, 272, 289. So I don't even have to go to the decimal sides. I got to look at the full number. Which one is bigger, 281, 272, or 289, you guys? You're right, 289. So it's 289 and 25 thousandths. What's the next bigger number, 281 or 272? You guys are right. It is 281. So I'd write 281 and 5 hundredths. And then my last one, 272 and 105 thousandths. So here we go. We'll do our last one. You're doing amazing. I'm very proud of all of you. So let's get this last one. Again, remember we're going decreasing, so we want the bigger number. I'm starting off with 17. I have 408 thousandths, 48 hundredths, and 4 tenths. So I'm just going to make everything so it looks like thousandths. So it looks like I have 17.4 in all of them. 17.4, 17.4, 17.4. I figure out which one goes next. I have a 0, an 8, and a 0. Which number's bigger? You guys are right, the 8. So I'm just going to write the 8. Because there's a 0, I can just ignore that and write that. So I'm going to get my 17.4 ready. So I have a 0 and a 0. So let's see what's bigger. Go to the next one, my thousandths. What's bigger, 8 or 0, you guys? 8 or 0. You're right, the 8. So I'm going to put 0, 8, and then write with my 17 and 4 tenths. So here we have this. We've got to pay attention to if it's asking for increasing or decreasing. So pay attention to that word. And then check out the check for understanding. You guys can do this. Now, if you have any questions, please let me know. Remember to smile, giggle, and wiggle, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.